She's an albino. Oh my gosh. I cannot tell y'all how much I heard that growing up. And it was always said in the most derogatory way ever. If I hear someone ask someone in like the background, oh, who is she? Oh, girl, she's an albino. Like, ain't nothing special about her. She just an albino. Or if I was in conversation with someone and someone was complimenting me, oh, well, she's an albino. You ain't got to compliment her. She's just an albino. And I'm just like, am I a piece of trash? Am I spoiled milk? Like, what's up with that? Hearing that growing up, it caused me, it was the contributor to most of my struggles with low self-esteem, because of the fact that albinism was, especially during the time I grew up, was never held in a high regard. I mean, the expectations for anything as far as believing that, we were much of anything was nada. So I just felt so low whenever I would hear people say that. And I didn't at the time know how to defend myself. So I just allowed it to be. And I just accepted it and felt like that was how my life was just going to always be. Up until I began to really grow in my relationship with God. And as I began to study the Word of God, and not just study it, but believe it, take it for what it is, which is truth. I was able to come into the knowledge of knowing that what I had been being told all those years was an absolute lie, that albinism was good and that God created me this way on purpose, for a purpose, and that is to do great things with little to no melanin in my hair, skin, and eyes. And not just myself, but so many others who have this beautiful condition. We were all born this way on purpose, for a purpose. And even if you don't have albinism, whatever physical or mental disability you may have, you were born that way on purpose to do great things for God. It's like I always tell y'all, if you look at the news or if you read magazines or, you just see people every day walking down the street, you will be amazed at their life stories, their testimonies of the things they were able to go forward and do despite what they lacked. You see that in the Olympics. You see that in television and film. You see that in corporations and organizations. I mean, it's all across the board how people use what little they had and they turned it into something that was great and magnificent. That is all due to the power of God. This world is so stuck on perfection. It's so stuck on having all your ducks in a row that it literally robs itself of really seeing the fullness of its potential and purpose, because we're so stuck on perfection. That's why you have so many people who struggle, because they always look at the next person and say, well, I'm not that, or I'm not him, or I'm not her, so I can't do it. Especially, like I said, when you have a condition like ours, it makes it look like your life is relatively impossible. And that's how I felt growing up. I felt like me being able to go forward and do anything great in life was impossible because I was an albino. I was trash. I was lower than low. I was nothing. I was meaningless. I was insignificant. So believing that I could go forward and do anything after high school was just, it wasn't even in question. I didn't even know what I really wanted to do. I had thoughts of things that I wanted to do as far as dreams were concerned, but believing that I could actually do it as an albino, nah, I didn't think so. I didn't believe that. But as I said before, all thanks and all praises to God, because he delivered me out of that mindset. So now I say, yeah, she is an albino, but she's an albino who has gone forward and done much more than I even thought I would be able to do with this condition. And I say the same for you. Yeah, you're an albino. You're a person with albinism. But what is that? What is that? What type of disqualification is that when it comes to the purpose and the power of God? He created us this way with this condition on purpose. He intentionally did not give us melanin. It wasn't like oh dang, you know how when you're cooking and you add too much salt, you're like, oh shoot, I didn't mean to put that much salt in my eggs, or oh man, I didn't mean to put that much in my grits or my biscuits. Y'all know I'm giving y'all an old school country breakfast right now. But you know how it is when you're cooking and you're adding too much stuff. You're like, oh shoot, I added too much of that in there. Then you have to start all over again and add the right ingredients, or if you don't do it and you give it to the people that you're serving, or you eat it, you throw it away, like, because you're like, this is not good, it's too salty, it's too sugary, it's too sweet, I can't eat this, it's not good. And that's the way society told us we were. You don't, nah, you ain't, no, your eyes shake, oh, no, you're a mistake, something's wrong with you. You don't have melanin, oh, nah, you evil, you are cursed. Your mom and your daddy did something wrong, or you're the result of incest. That's bad. Oh my gosh, no, I don't want to be seen with you. Or, oh, I'm gonna talk about you. I'm gonna bully you and make you never see yourself the way that God intended for you to be seen. That's the way that society intended for us to be looked at. But when you look at yourself in the lens of God and you accept the truth that is in his word, in Genesis 1:31, in John chapter 9, some of my favorite scriptures, you find that when God was putting us together, when he was putting us together, the word of God says we were fearfully and wonderfully made. So when he was putting us together, when he was putting all our links and kinks together, he decided, he said, just like he said, let there be light, he looked at us and said, let there be no melanin. He looked at us and said, take it out of the skin, take it out of the hair, take it out of the eyes. And guess what? You're still going to be good. You're still going to be able to go forward and do great things, because my purpose does not reside in melanin. It does not reside in perfect eyesight or having the right hair color. My purpose resides in you having faith in me to say that while I may lack it, God, I know you're going to do something great in my life, because that's the way he intended for it to be.